Hello and welcome to Ford Horizon. I'm Johnny Smith and this is the place to find out the latest news, announcements, future plans and new product details from Ford. Today's programme is a particularly exciting edition as in just a few minutes we'll be revealing a brand new vehicle, the Ford e-Transit. It's a packed show, lots to talk about, but first, here to explain more about this vision, Ford's President and CEO, Jim Farley.
Thanks, Johnny. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. One of the reasons why I love Ford is because we're a family company that is passionate about helping other family companies succeed. We live for this. Their success is our success. And that goes for Bill Ford, me, and our thousands of employees and dealers around the world. On every corner, in every town and city around the world, Ford commercial vans and trucks bear the proud name of the businesses that make our communities run. Our local contractors, first responders, utilities, plumbers, bakers, florists, delivery companies who cover the last mile of commerce, and on. They make the world go. And today, we're entering a new era of commercial vehicles and the very future of work. Electrification, connectivity, over-the-air updates, and cloud-enabled services provide us the opportunity to better serve our customers and dramatically improve their productivity. Today, we look forward to showing you an all-new addition to our transit lineup, the Ford e-Transit. We're taking the world's best-selling cargo van fully electric and zero emissions, and it's going to make doing business even smarter, easier, and more cost-effective for our customers. The opportunity goes far beyond greater capability, versatility, and yes, zero emissions. E-Transit also brings the connectivity, digital solutions, and services that will absolutely transform how millions of people live and work around the world. We are creating a whole new digital business of services and data to unlock an unlimited set of solutions for customers to help them reduce their costs, increase their uptime, improve their productivity, and grow their businesses. Now, we've all seen how this pandemic has changed the way companies do business. In the US alone, e-commerce sales rose nearly 50% in the second quarter, and delivery vehicle demand rose with it. These trends are occurring even as cities around the world, from Los Angeles to London, are getting very serious about CO2 and air quality improvement. If we're going to do our part, we must transition commercial vehicles to zero emissions. And for us, it starts with the e-Transit. This is the path we're on. Ford is totally committed to being carbon neutral by 2050. We're standing with California for higher standards, lower emissions, and cleaner air. And we're proud to support and live up to the Paris Agreement. Consider a small commercial fleet, let's say one that includes 8 to 9 medium-sized vans. Collectively, they probably travel about 150,000 miles a year. Now, if we convert that small fleet, just one, from gas engine power to full electric, we save more than 118,000 pounds, or nearly 54,000 kilos of CO2 every year. That's equivalent of pulling the emissions of 200 flight hours of a commercial airliner out of the atmosphere from just one small fleet. Think of the compound difference we can make at Ford with all of our thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of customers. Now, this shift won't happen overnight, of course, but it illustrates that together we can create a better planet. Ford has a long history with electric vehicles. We've sold more than 900,000 hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and all-electric vehicles to date globally. And we expect to be the first full-line automaker to market in North America a full-size electric pickup and an electric van. Plus, we know how to deliver that commercial vehicle with versatility, capability, payload, quality, uptime, and value you've come to depend on with transit. Now, worldwide, Ford has produced more than 10 million transits alone. That's 55 years of hard-earned product excellence. Now, ultimately, this transformation comes down to leveraging our greatest strengths, the trust and scale we've built with our fleet customers worldwide, to take our transit lineup and our commercial vehicle business to that whole next level with new technology, digital solutions, more talent, and of course these incredible all-electric new vehicles. All backed by upfitters and dealers you know, and customer service you expect from the Ford name you trust. To tell you more, I'll hand it back to Johnny.
Thanks, Jim. Some big ideas there. Let's find out how Ford arrived at this vision. Ford's approach to its commercial vehicles has been massively informed by its broad and diverse customer base, especially important as the industry moves into electrification. Here to talk more about that, I'm joined in the studio by Usha Raghavachari. She's the lab director at D Ford London. Now, you've got a very cool job title, but I don't actually know what the D Ford lab is, so could you explain it to me?
I can. D Ford is our human-centered design team inside Ford, and we exist really to deeply understand our customers' needs and problems, to anticipate big changes happening in the world around us, and to create new ideas that help our commercial customers thrive. We get real feedback on the issues and the pain points that they're facing, and how they make decisions about key areas of electrification, connected services, and conversions when they're making their vehicle investments. And to really understand our customers' needs, we've asked them things like, what is their average vehicle mileage that they do in a typical day?
Fleet typically does about 50 miles a day on average. In our application, practical working range of a BEV is certainly no less than 150 miles.
Mileage really does tend to vary across the country. We're a national fleet, so in some areas our vans are doing very low mileages, sort of 35 miles a day. In others, our vans are doing much more, anything 100, and even in some of our specialist engineers over that a day.
I think range is a key element that customers are cautious about. If they're only doing 20, 30 miles a day, a vehicle with a 100-mile range works for them.
So concerns around range anxiety are a really key barrier to some people adopting EVs.
Yes, Johnny, you're absolutely right. But there are some companies who want to adopt now. Let's find out why.
Yeah, Belron is absolutely interested in electrification for our fleet. Why? Of course, because of the lower environmental impact. So our fleet is responsible for a large part of our CO2 emission.
In terms of moving to electric vehicles for Sky, I mean, we are committed to a net zero by 2030. We'd like to do a 50% cut in our CO2 emissions by 2025.
So then we come to one of the biggest issues around electric vehicles, charging.
Yeah.
So what are customers' considerations around actually charging an electric van?
For Belron, it would be great if we could charge the car overnight. So at the end of the day, the technician plugs the car in, and the next day it's fully charged again. He can go off doing his new job. If charging is needed in between, then that could either only be a quick stop, like 30 minutes for a quick charge to make sure he makes it through the end of the day.
I think in terms of patterns of charging, we're still trying to work it out, and it really depends on engineers and where they live, as we're entirely home-based. So in an ideal world, an engineer could charge their vehicle at home on a wall box, and then they'd be ready to go. We have to recognise that not everyone is lucky enough to be in a house that can have a wall charger, and that's where fast charging and public charging become very important to enable that wider rollout across our entire engineer base.
Yeah, charging is so important, and having the right infrastructure available for convenience really makes or breaks whether people can change their refueling behaviour in the same way that we live with and we charge our phones.
Yeah, that's a great way of thinking about it, Johnny. But of course, every business and every driver is different. Okay, so now let's look at some of their specific vehicle needs.
one of the concerns that we've had from the information we've had from our customers is the reduction in payload because of a battery pack. And we have to find ways to obviously ensure that we can keep that payload as high as possible.
Yes, the ability to power tools is a very important one for our technicians. They bring along quite a lot of electric tools to complete their windscreen replacements, and it's important that they can be charged during the job.
So one thing which affects every business, though, is money. So how do our customers see electric vehicles affecting the cost of ownership?
The running cost of EVs is one of the main reasons we want to move to them. We, on our total cost of ownership model, have managed to make a saving over diesel, which is one of the major driving forces when we go and talk to the boardroom at Centrica to moving to EVs, as well as image and the right thing to do by the customer.
Belron definitely sees the opportunities for electric vehicles, and we definitely see not only the opportunity to reduce our environmental impact, but also to reduce our running costs.
Then we come to managing the way that their vehicles are used. So how important is telematics and data to fleet management?
Where we're really putting our emphasis, however, is on the connected side from a fleet manager's point of view. And with EVs, that is particularly important. Knowing the available range and battery condition of that vehicle can allow us to make dynamic planning and dispatch decisions on the fly.
Taking those stages further into sort of predictive maintenance, on location servicing and all of those types of bits and pieces is yes, I mean, it's clearly going to make our fleet more efficient. And there are some unique features of EVs that would mean you would want those systems, such as being able to remote manage the charge, preheat the vehicle so you're not wasting battery on heating the cabin, timing of charge, all that sort of stuff. And those are sort of added features that EVs need on top of what we're already doing for the rest of the fleet.
So really deeply understanding and observing the pain points and challenges that our customers face informs our D-Forward innovation process. This human-centered approach is absolutely central to our design and development process, and it's exactly how we've approached the electrification of our commercial vehicles.
Insightful stuff there, Usha. Thanks for that. Look behind the curtain at the work going on to put human beings at the centre of the process to design Ford's latest commercial vehicle. Now, though, let's dive into this a little deeper. Taking those customer insights that Usha has just shown us and translating them into action is precisely what the team working on the new electric Transit has been doing. Somebody who's been directly involved in this process is Hans Schepp, Ford's General Manager of Commercial Vehicles in Europe. Hi, Hans. So how have all the things customers told you about empowered your teams to come up with innovative solutions that they'll actually appreciate and use in the real world?
Mm-hmm. Well, to start with, it's our mission at Ford to make our customers' businesses thrive. It all starts with the need of optimized efficiency, productivity.
Okay.
They also want to make sure, obviously, that the vehicles they use are the right tool for their job. So the choice of the right variant and feature level to suit their business is really important. Now, going electric gives them also unlimited access, also to clean air zones within cities, for instance, with also the ability to operate at any time of day or night.
Understanding these insights, the electric transit team have come up with solutions driven by a deep understanding of key business use cases, a massive variety of them. So let's take a quick look at two really important examples.
Okay, so let's start with, as we call it, the rolling toolbox businesses.
Rolling toolbox.
Rolling toolbox. So brilliant. Think about satellite TV installers, electricians, plumbers, or technicians from utility companies, for instance. So they're always on the move, they're always on a schedule, running from job to job, customers always waiting.
Yeah.
So again, efficiency there and productivity is really, really key. Maximum uptime is crucial. They mainly use vans, and a key requirement for them is space to carry the materials and heavy power tools they need. Then you've got access to power, which is absolutely essential.
Yeah.
Most customers use inverters or external power supplies, So imagine the capability to use the power from an electric vehicle battery. That would be a real advantage. So they can plug in tools anywhere where they are. Our customer data tells us that these customers typically travel an average of just over 110 kilometers or 69 miles per shift.
Okay.
Now this range needs to be delivered, reliably, obviously, in all weathers and whatever the use case or whatever the load that they're carrying. Now in wintertime, you obviously need to keep the cab warm. It's important for employee well-being. The ability to precondition the cab while the vehicle is still connected to a charge point is a must, as well as making early starts more bearable on freezing mornings. It means you can start the day with a maximum range on the vehicle.
As well as depending on these dedicated service providers to continue working for us during the current conditions. We've all been very thankful to the delivery companies for getting the shopping to us on time when we want it. And to that end, I see e-commerce only going one way. It's going up. We're ordering more, which means more comes to our door via van.
You're absolutely right, Johnny. We know their vehicles have a regular drive route. They're quite short routes, but very intensive with a lot of stopping and starting, over 200 stops a day. And these delivery vehicles also need to be connected because they need to be tracked by their operators. They usually have fleet operators tracking the vehicles, possibly even geofence the vehicles for improved productivity, giving fleet managers maximum control of their fleet from their desk. Cargo capacity is just as important here as the payload for the fleet. So they want high roofs, long wheelbase vans, with the ability to convert with racking, drop-down shelves, and also tail lifts. And on top of that, they often need power for refrigeration as well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Now, needless to say, enough range for the daily route. Efficient charging overnight are key requirements. So it's a long list, but you can see a picture emerging of the kind of features we want to give these customers in our new electric transit.
Now it's time to take a closer look at the vehicle in question itself, the all-new, all-electric Ford e-Transit.
The no-compromise, customer-focused, all-electric Ford e-Transit from the wheels up. The Ford e-Transit is designed to meet a wide range of customers' business needs, exactly like the ones we just talked about. Packed with new advanced technologies, bringing even more connectivity and productivity to businesses, small and large. E-Transit will offer a wide variety of configuration options. It has the first heavy-duty independent rear suspension of any electric van. Specifically designed so we did not have to compromise the load space at all. And the chassis strong enough for all of our customer payloads needs. We've packaged the batteries under the load floor and protected it with strong side beams. Let's meet Nick Wyman, brand manager for Transit. Nick, how did we decide on the right range and battery capacity for the e-Transit?
We designed the e-Transit so that it fulfilled the daily range requirements of our customers in any circumstances. We know this from listening to our customers, such as those we heard from before, and also from millions of miles worth of telematics data. But we don't just want the e-Transit to support their average needs, we also want the flexibility to go further. So they might need to adjust for circumstances that affect range, such as ambient temperature, weight, rolling resistance, and aerodynamics, but also things like driving style and external temperature, which is why we equip the e-Transit with a really impressive battery. It's got 67 kilowatt hours of usable energy, and that's 30% greater than most of our OEM competition.
That's good news, Nick. I know you're excited to hear about the e-Transit range. Using WLTP standards, the best performing e-Transit is targeted to achieve an impressive 350 kilometer range on the combined cycle. That's good news for our customers. But Nick, how do we make sure the vehicle delivers what our customers need day in, day out?
As you'd expect from all Ford commercial vehicles, it's all about development, testing, and more testing. We've already put the battery and early prototypes through its paces with tough testing in harsh climates and difficult terrains. And we've got even more on the horizon to reassure our customers and make sure that e-Transit is built for business.
For sure, it's crucial that our customers understand this vehicle has been through the same demanding testing regime as our other commercial vehicles. Based on years of experience testing in all conditions and weathers, up steep hills and over the worst road conditions, this vehicle is having to earn the right to wear the Transit badge. Nick, day to day on the road, how will driving the e-Transit compare to a diesel version?
The e-Transit is a capable workhorse just like the diesel Transit. We've equipped the e-Transit with the most powerful rear-wheel drive e-motor yet. On top of that, e-Transit comes with 3 bespoke driving modes, including the Eco mode, which delivers between 8 and 10% energy usage improvement, which helps our customers achieve even greater range. And finally, it's an all-electric powertrain, so it delivers emission-free and whisper-quiet operation. This improves city access and is perfect for those early morning deliveries and late nights. So the e-Transit really is an exciting proposition for those customers.
Thanks, Nick. We know that battery performance is key to our customers. But before we go any further, we know that you want to see what the new e-Transit actually looks like. So, here it is, the new Ford e-Transit. Unmistakably a Transit, familiar but with subtle changes in design. You'll have noticed the new upper grille with a central charge port, which leads us to the all-important charging story. I'm joined by Mark Harvey, Director Connectivity Ford of Europe, to tell us more. So Mark, we heard from our customers earlier how charging is top of their mind for the business. So what kind of solutions are we offering to our customers?
On board the vehicle, we have an 11 kilowatt hour charger. So if you were charging in a depot environment, that would mean you could charge from 0 to 100% state of charge of the battery in around 8 hours. Ideal for the fleets that have daytime operations with the vehicles returning to a depot at night. We recognise, however, that some fleets also need to take the vehicles home at night. We can offer a range of charging solutions to suit their needs as well, through simple plug-in technology or using a wall box that we can provide and install for them at the home location. And then finally, if you're out on a job and you have lower state of charge, we have a solution for that, the Ford Fast Charging Network, which we operate in partnership with NewMotion, and that offers over 160,000 charge point locations across Europe. We can also offer rapid charging using 115 kilowatt DC fast charging capability that the vehicle has. That would take, for example, the battery from 15% state of charge to 80% state of charge in just over half an hour. And to deliver that, we have access to the Ionity charging network across Europe as our key partner for delivering rapid charging.
Right. So earlier we heard about our customers who use their vehicles as rolling toolboxes. So another feature that I've heard about for our new Transit, which I'm really excited about, is Pro Power on board. Can you tell me, Mark, what's the benefit of that to our fleet customers?
So we've developed Pro Power on board. And if you think about a really great use case for that, if you were a mobile service technician going to a job needing to do some welding, for example, today you may carry a separate generator. With e-Transit, you no longer need to do that, because you can get to the job site, plug in your welding equipment straight into the vehicle, and then get ahead and get the job done. Other examples are things like food delivery companies, where they run refrigerated vans with an upfit and a refrigerator in the vehicle. So I think you'll agree, Pro Power on board is a fantastic addition to the e-Transit, and we are the first company to bring that to market.
Thanks, Mark. E-Transit is also very configurable. A van chassis cab, a double cabin van with 2 roof heights and 3 body lengths. The cargo area is the same as the diesel equivalent van, from 9.5 to 15.1 cubic meters. No compromise on carrying ability, which is perfect for package delivery companies, for instance, where volume really matters. It's designed with the same unhindered access points and dimensions as its diesel counterpart. So you can carry over your conversions and your racking from your current transit. And that's really important, not just for our customers, but also for our specialized network of around 200 qualified vehicle modifiers across Europe. 3.5 ton, 3.9 ton, and 4.25 ton versions with excellent payloads. Based on feedback from several large fleets, targeted payload is 1,616 kilograms in the van, so great for rolling toolbox customers, for instance. Chassis cab targeted payload is 1,967 kilograms. Excellent for utility companies with custom bodies and heavy equipment. All of our new vehicles now come with a powerful embedded 4-pass Connect modem as standard. Let's welcome back Mark Harvey to tell us more. So Mark, can you tell us, is the e-Transit really the smartest transit ever?
It absolutely is by far the smartest transit that we've ever launched. It uses a wide range of smart and connected features, many of which are accessed through the 12-inch touchscreen, which is standard on e-Transit. And that touchscreen is part of our Sync 4 entertainment system. And it's the first time that we've deployed that on any of our commercial vehicles here in Europe. And it uses enhanced voice recognition coupled with improved connectivity to deliver a really personalized experience, really understanding what you do on a daily basis and making proactive recommendations. Specifically for e-Transit as well, the built-in navigation is a fantastic help in terms of finding charge locations. It can look at charge locations near where you are currently operating and give you real-time information about those charge stations. Are they in service? And then what sort of capability they have. If you have your modem activated, which most of our commercial vehicle and electric vehicle customers are hugely interested in, it delivers substantial additional benefits, including over-the-air updates. So you can get further updates for your Sync 4 system, keeping your maps up to date, for example, and also enhancements to the driver assistance technologies.
Can you tell us about connected service for fleets?
e-Transit is not just a van, it's a complete ecosystem of connected digital tools to help our customers get the job done. And Ford Commercial Solutions is absolutely part of that ecosystem. Examples of that can be monitoring the state of charge of the battery whilst it's charging, but also during daily operations and to see how the vehicles are running in real time. It can also be looking at their complete energy consumption across the fleet, using the e-Transit to better understand their energy consumption. But one of the things also that I'm most excited about is the ability that we are going to have to do preconditioning. This is a real win-win for both the fleet and the driver, because it gives the driver a nice warm cabin that's been preconditioned while the vehicle is plugged in and charging. So it gives the fleet manager extra range and extra capability, which is fantastic.
That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Mark. So now we know e-Transit is capable, it's fully connected, and has a range of charging options. We also know driver comfort and safety are key priorities for every business. So let's talk about that. It starts with 3 drive modes: normal, slippery, and eco, which all enhances driver comfort and safety. We have significantly enhanced the suite of driver assist technologies for safer and more efficient driving. Then, automatic traffic sign recognition. It not only recognizes traffic signs, but also gives fleet managers the ability to set maximum speed and manage driver behavior remotely. New is the reverse brake assist. It applies brakes during reversing maneuvers when a static or moving object is detected. It reduces accidents during low-speed maneuvers, which are a major cause of downtime. And linked to that, new 360 degrees cameras provide views from all sides of the vehicle to provide the best view of any obstacle. We've improved the cabin space to make it more accessible. We've introduced a new rotary E-shifter, which replaces the gear lever. Plus, there is an electronic park brake on the instrument panel, freeing up space between the seats, making it easier to walk through to access the cargo area. Now, all of this boosts the driver's confidence and safety, leading to fewer accidents, which means more uptime and less cost to the business. Now let's talk about after-sales. To do that, I want to introduce Owen Gregory, Director Commercial Vehicle After-Sales Ford of Europe. So, Owen, what can our customers expect from the e-Transit when it comes to the very important question of servicing, maintenance and repairs?
That's a really good question. And in fact, having an e-Transit on your fleet is just plain good for business. The primary reason is that the operating costs are 40% lower over a typical 3-year usage cycle. With lower operating costs comes with lower operating downtime. And in fact, we're first to market to bring a class-leading service schedule of just needing to bring the vehicle in once per year, regardless of the distance traveled during that year. And of course, we're very much aware that some customers may have some concerns and some trepidation about the new electrification technology. And that's why it was important for us to provide the reassurance of an 8-year, 160,000 kilometer warranty on the high voltage equipment.
So, a class-leading service schedule with unlimited mileage and a reassuring warranty policy. And the really key advantage to our customers is our transit network. How are they preparing themselves for e-Transit?
Our dealer network are one of our key strengths as brand leader in Europe, and really is something that many startups simply cannot compete with. In fact, here in Europe, we've got over 1,000 transit centres across Europe, all of which now are training their teams to be fully EV ready so that they can support our customers like no other.
Thank you, Owen. That's great news. And of course, let's not forget that e-Transit isn't just a battery electric van. It is part of our family of commercial vehicles. It will be built here in Europe with our joint venture partner Ford Otosan in our state-of-the-art manufacturing plant in Kocaeli, Turkey. Side by side on the same production line as our award-winning Transit Custom PHEV, to the same high-quality standards you expect from Ford. So, e-Transit is built for business, ready to serve. Coming to Europe in spring 2022. I'm really excited to be kicking off this whole new era for transit, the backbone of so many businesses around Europe.
And there we have it, the new all-electric e-Transit. For a few final thoughts on what we've just seen, I'd like to hand you over again to Ford's President and CEO, Jim Farley.
Well, we've shown you today what makes Ford different. Operating with a purpose and at scale to serve millions of businesses and through them, make the world a better place. It's about making zero emissions accessible to millions across our iconic nameplates. Mustang, and for the US, a fully electric F-150. And crucially, now the e-Transit will deliver zero emissions to business globally, which can have a huge impact on their bottom line and cost of ownership. All supported by a range of human and business-centric design features, connected to a digital ecosystem that provides a range of services to deliver actionable and predictive data that enable businesses to achieve what they want, 100% uptime. A new era of sustainable progress starts here today. This is the all-new Ford e-Transit.
Introducing the Ford e-Transit. It works as hard as ever. It may look the same, but e-Transit is new underneath. It's all electric, getting the job done, taking you places others can't, with optimized zero-emissions driving range for service and delivery jobs. It powers your work wherever you are. With the available cargo capacity of Transit today and familiar mounting points to seamlessly carry over your racks, shelves, and other conversions, Ford's global army of upfitters are ready to go. How tough is it? We are testing the equivalent of 240,000 kilometers and 10 years in our labs, proving grounds, and the real world. It's engineered for uptime and supported by a global network of established Ford dealers who are built for business. E-Transit is smarter than ever and connected to Ford Commercial Solutions to maximize uptime and improve fleet management. Keeping hard-working businesses moving forward. Working hard for business when it matters most. That's what Ford has done for decades. Now, Ford is on a mission to do it more sustainably, becoming carbon neutral by 2050. If all Transit sold just last year were fully electric, there would be 30 million metric tons less CO2 in the world. That's 30 million passengers flying London to New York and back. Delivering the world's goods and services with zero emissions on a scale that really matters? It starts now. Leading the charge, this is the Ford E-Transit.